the Power Rangers Re-Ignition line has basically shown up, over the course of the past week. And we've seen 3 different lines essentially presented to us via Playmates. First off, we've got, it wasn't really a leak, but it was a magazine reveal for kind of a redo of the Automorphin figures from, well, way back in 93. And, just something that Hasbro also did a few years ago. Then they came out with a more official announcement for all over the internet, which involved the Automorphin figures and also a Megazord that looked kind of like it was homaging the original as well. And today we got an announcement for what looks like a mainline series of figures. These were the ones that were silhouetted back when Re-Ignition was doing their teasers. So I wanted to look at each of these figures one by one and kind of let you know my thoughts and, kind of just go over whether these are passable or not. So first up, let's take a look at the Re-Ignition mainline figures. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I think these might actually be 6-inch figures as well. I don't know if they'll be doing civilian heads or what, like Lightning Collection, but these do look a little odd for me. See, okay, let's talk one by one, like head to toe. Like, let's talk about the typical Ranger build first. So, these look like a cross between Hasbro's Lighting Collection and Bandai's more muscular figures. Like, they want to kind of have their cake and eat it too, I guess. I don't know, but it's kind of like a hybrid of sorts, where there's muscle there, sure, but also at the same time, they're doing more of the spandex look. So, I guess it's okay. That bit is okay for me. I don't have a problem with that. But taking a look at some of the details, the glove detail, okay, so they look like, the diamonds look like there's one extra diamond on there. Each diamond should be whiter is what I'm trying to say. So because there's an extra diamond on there, everything is thinner. That's for all the Rangers. So this commentary I'm making right now is for all of the general Rangers. The morpher looks a little odd as well. It just looks like a big gray slab there with the coin in the middle. See, there's a specific shape to the morphers. The way the buckle is being held onto the belt. The holders have this kind of a sloped shape that I'm not seeing here. They look more rectangular with just a little bit of bevel. We'll see, I guess, when they come up with more HD pictures. But what I'm seeing here, everything else looks kind of okay. Boots, the diamonds on the boots look okay. The diamonds on the chest, I just noticed now, they look a little long-ish. Not really that much of a bother. I feel like I'm nitpicking at this point. I mean, it's still the same, but it's not like super accurate, right? But that's the thing. I think what bothers me here is the knees, maybe. The knees look like they're flared out. And it reminds me of, I don't know if you guys collected Masters of the Universe Origins. They look a lot like the knees on the abandoned female figures. Like the original She-Ra, the original Evil Lyn, and original Tila figures from Masters of the Universe Origins, which had these flared knees, which people complained about and they abandoned. So see how they just jut out like that? They make a weird sharp edge and they don't look like knees. That's the thing that kind of sticks out to me the most. Kind of like the boots, how they have these little creases, kind of like how the Light Collection has it. Let's talk about, I guess, the holsters. The holsters look a bit thick. They remind me of the Retromorphin holsters. So I don't know if they just use the same holsters for the Retromorphin, or the Automorphin figures rather, and these main ones, but it kind of looks like it. The T-crotches on the male figures look about as okay as they would. I don't really see a huge problem. It does look like it's more of an assembly rather than a cut like the Lightning Collection had it. So it's basically like 2 parts and you can see where the separation is. I don't much mind it, but it does make the figure look a lot more modular and less unified. But I'm not a toy designer. I'm just speaking from what I'm seeing. Now, with regard to each individual Ranger, okay, let's talk about the Red Ranger. Red Ranger seems to suffer again from just his helmet not being the right look. I mean, the Red Ranger, I think, is the most, like, is the hardest to get right, because for the rest of the Rangers, right, you can be a little off and it will still look kind of okay. I think Green Ranger is the easiest to wing it in different ways where it doesn't look exactly like the Green Ranger sculpt from Zero Ranger or the Power Rangers TV show, but it's still kind of passable. But yeah, we're not there. We're not there. And I just noticed also, for I think everybody has this, the smaller mouth plates. Do you guys see that? I mean, I don't think it's for everybody, but maybe red and black have those smaller mouth plates, and maybe green. The Red Ranger sword as well. I don't know if it's just the paint, but it's making it look like there's one taper, like right there in the middle. It's not supposed to just be one taper like that. I don't know if that's the sculpt or the paint, but it's different. Anyway, for Yellow Ranger, she looks kind of okay. Yellow helmet looks passable. The daggers have this weird thick, these handles, they're kind of thick. And something's up with that crotch joint for Yellow Ranger. I'm not sure why, but she has a thicker crotch than even the male characters. Like, what is up with that? For Blue Ranger and Yellow Ranger, you can really see the modularity that I was talking about there, where you can really see where the hinges are and they don't look as unified as before. But yeah, other than that, same thing for Blue Ranger. The handle on the lens is super thick for some reason. The helmet's passable. I don't know if it's 100% accurate. There seems to be a sloping to the visor that isn't 100%, but you know, it's fine. It's not super egregious. Let's look at the Black Ranger. Black Ranger's helmet is mostly okay, but that mouth plate does look a little small. The power axe is passable as well. And then for the Pink Ranger, helmet is mostly okay, I guess. I really like the skirt on this one. I just hope it doesn't hinder her from posability. Pink Ranger's bow is pretty much as it's expected. Green Ranger's weird. Very weird. What is up with the gold neck? What is up with the gold handle on the Dragon Dagger? What is up with the fact that there's no gold paint on the gloves and the boots, and the morpher is silver, and for some reason he has a blaster and his holster is white and his neck piece is gold and it doesn't look like he has diamonds. There's so many things wrong. Even the shield is a weird shape. It's a weird round shape instead of being more of a V. Okay, so while the core Rangers are passable, I'm not so sure about the Green Ranger. I don't know that there will be a lot of people that are going to be super into this. When they announced that they were going to make Power Rangers and they were going to start with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I understood it. I'm not part of the fans that would say, you know, they should start with other seasons. I understand why. I mean, at least the way I understand it, I understand why Mighty Morphin comes first, because you want the parents to recognize the toys and, you know, give it to their kids, and then we hope that they move on to other, you know, Rangers, other Zords, and other seasons, right? But this just looks like a retread of Lightning Collection, and not in the best way. You know what I mean? So yeah, same thing with Automorphin. I wasn't gonna talk about the Automorphin figures, but I mean, someone did point out though that this looks like it's trying to be a mashup of the Lightning Collection and the Automorphin figures, and that these are the best proportioned Automorphin figures we've had. And I'm gonna have to agree, which I know sounds weird. Initially, my first reaction was, who's gonna buy this? People are not gonna want this because, you know, if Hasbro hadn't made theirs, maybe we'd go for this. Because, you know, what's old is new again is kind of a trend, right? With Masters of the Universe Origins, with the remastered Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or the retro Transformers figures. This would have been great in my head a few days ago had Hasbro not made their Automorphins. But then someone did point out that this looks like it's a cross between a basic figure and an Automorphin figure, and it's the best proportioned ones, and I have to agree. I'm not saying the proportions are great, no, but because of the Automorphin feature, there is going to be that bulky chest, yes, but the proportions are better than the Automorphin figures from Bandai and Hasbro, so I have to give them that. That is 100% correct. I'm looking at these again, and I'm like, yeah, these have the same issues with the knees, and I'm starting to think that they might actually be in the same scale, you know, and yeah, they have exposed hinges, so this is a little weird. So these look like they might be in the same scale with the mainline figures, just, you know, to have you have that extra bit of play where you can morph them alongside your other figures that may be 5 or 6 inches. I'm looking at the head sculpts and I'm seeing kind of the same problems as I described in the basic figure line. And for the Green Ranger, exactly the same paint deco problems. Like a gold neck, a gold dragon dagger handle, a rounded out shield for some reason, no gold bits on the gloves and boots, a white holster, a power blaster for some reason. Except for this time, their belts are entirely black instead of gray. So yeah, make of that what you will. I'm not. I mean, I'm not gonna get these. I'm not gonna get the Power Rangers figures as well. But I do see people probably enjoying this more so than the automorphin figures because of the proportion and maybe because of the size. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But right now, the way I'm looking at it, people might actually want the automorphin ones more than the mainline ones, only because the mainline ones look like a less good. Why am I mincing words here? A worse version of the Lightning Collection. Or the Legacy Collection, to be honest. You know what? Let's take a look at the Megazord. Why not? So for the Megazord, the combining Megazord, this is pretty much straight up like the mold of the original Bandai 1992-1993 one, with slight modifications, right? I don't think it's a remold per se, but at least they took the design inspirations from that. It doesn't look like it has any modern articulation. People are saying that this is better than Hasbro's, and I'm like, no. The only reason you think this is better than Hasbro's is because there's more paint on it. But if Hasbro had enough, enough foresight to paint the Megazord properly, you would see that it's actually a better figure in terms of articulation, in terms of engineering. Not that it's perfect. There's a lot of issues with it, but there are a lot of issues with this too. I mean, what is up with? I mean, the head looks great. The head looks great, but what is up with those giant cannons on the back? Like, seriously. I like the Megazord, like the chest window not being a sticker and more of a molded bit. Hasbro did the same thing, so awesome job. The stickers on the Mastodon shoulders are weird. I'm not sure why also they decided to make it look like this. In the product shot, why are the shoulder pauldrons down? Okay. So yeah, there you go. And you'll notice that the red stickers on the saber-tooth tiger and the triceratops are also weirdly tiny. But otherwise, everything looks a lot like the original. I just noticed that they have the saber-tooth tiger fangs downwards instead of upwards. I hope we can put them up, because that will be weird if they just stayed in a downward position like that. Looking at the individual Zords, also not too great. I mean, they do look a lot like the original, sure. So if your goal is to have something that look like the original, actually, you know what, enjoy yourself. But there's a few things I'm not super digging. Like Pterodactyl has always had like the short end of the stick when it comes to the look. The only nice figures that made the Pterodactyl, I think, actually I'm blanking. I think I'm only thinking of one, the Chogokin one. I think that's the only one that was able to do it correctly sculpt-wise. Otherwise, they all skimp and make the Pterodactyl flat on the upper section. And this looks kind of like it's the same thing. And also there's this weird, raised area for the Pterodactyl to connect to the Tyrannosaurus. I wish that wasn't there, but okay, what can we do? And it looks like the saber-tooth tiger and Triceratops received these interesting clear parts for their tails. Why? Okay, I mean, they're toys, so okay, maybe I'm not the target market. But you know what? I wish that they would have taken from the original Megazord, if they were gonna go this way, that the knees on the Tyrannosaurus. They shouldn't have gone with a port system like this. It's giving Zord Builder, right? And it was never great on the Zord Builder, which eventually became the Legacy Megazord, which is why I keep saying the Legacy Megazord is super overrated. Those knees are weird, and I wish they could have gone with the same system, the same lock system that the DX1 had, where it's really more of the sides of the inner sections of the Sabertooth and the Triceratops gripping onto the knees of the Tyrannosaurus to make sure that it connects, which works. and I wish they just did that. Overall, I can see people buying this as kind of a replacement for their DX ones, or to have a newer version. Sure, okay, but it's not for me either. And just now, it's basically been revealed that the Power Morpher is also has also been seen in the catalog, and the shape is, it's very sharp in comparison to the last two we've gotten from Bandai and from Hasbro. So I'm not sure what the deal with that is. But what I'm hearing is that it has like really great sound. So I don't know like how great the sounds will be, but I'm not really a sound guy. I'm more of a looks guy. And so far, Bandai's given us the best one as to, you know, the way the sculpt looked. I never really bought that Hasbro couldn't make the sculpt, you know, close to how Bandai should do it because of Toei reasons. I never bought that. But this one looks like super sharp and cornered. So I don't think I'll be getting this either unless it's super cheap and I can use it for customs. So overall, if it's a pass or buy situation for Power Rangers Re-Ignition, I don't think I'm getting any of these figures. If they turn out to be 6-inch figures that are compatible with Lightning Collection figures, then I will probably wait for figures that were not released in Lightning Collection and just use those to fill the collection. I mean, sadly, there's going to be a slight visual difference. Not even slight, actually, it's kind of a big visual difference, and there probably won't be any civilian heads because it doesn't look like it, but alas, it is what it is. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I mean, we've gone pretty hard on Re-Ignition on Twitter. Not a lot of people love it, but I do want to hear like positive things. Maybe some of you think that this is for you. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think. Anyway, this has been X for X's Toy Universe. Peace out.